Good evening, good evening, good evening. Today is still Sunday, June 30th, 2024. I'm just sitting out here relaxing, chilling amongst the living. Did I say June 30th? Yeah, June 30th, last day in June. Tomorrow will be July 1st if the Lord let us live to see it and the creek don't rise. Thank y'all for tuning in for another episode. I really appreciate it. It's going to be the last one for the day, and I'm going to upload it for in the morning for the people on their way to work. Something to listen to on your way to work. Or on your way home from work early in the morning. I'm going to go and record it now. Y'all know how I do. I just had some on my mind. I wasn't going to do another one today. I was going to do it tomorrow, but since I'm here, it's on my mind. You got to get it while the getting is good. So that's what I'm about to do. And this is about, I was listening to a song. I forgot who it was, but they said it was a lyric they said in it. Made me think about this, right? And I was thinking back throughout my life, throughout my years, when I used to be pissed off at women that left me. Fellas, a lot of y'all can relate to this. I'm not like that anymore. If a woman leave me now, I understand. You know, like, my time was up. My contract was up. What have you. Nothing lasts forever. Even if you're married and never leave each other, you're still not going to be together forever, because even if you don't divorce or separate, death's going to separate you. Nothing lasts forever. There's a time limit on everything. So, but once upon a time, I couldn't get that. It couldn't register in my mind, right? So, every woman I had, every relationship I had when my mind wasn't right, I thought she was mine and she's supposed to stay with me. And like, I owned her. But I wasn't possessive, like mistreating her type thing. I just thought, if we together, she said she loved me, I said I love her. I was under the notion that we was gonna be together forever. That was from my very first girlfriend that I loved, that loved me. I thought she was gonna be the only one for the rest of my life. And then that didn't work out. She left me. The one after that, we got together, fell in love. I thought she was gonna be the one for the rest of my life. So forth and so on, right? And it didn't turn out like that. Like, what the hell going on? Why they keep leaving? What's wrong with me? She mine. I thought she was mine. She belonged to me. You know what I mean? But how something that belonged to me keep leaving me? And I was pissed off about that, y'all. That shit used to bother me. I used to be like, I was kind of bitter at one time. I ain't gonna even lie about it. I was actually bitter at one time about my relationships not lasting forever. Because you belong to me. When you said you love me, I said I loved you. We belong to each other. What I didn't understand at the time is I was renting her. I couldn't buy her. She wasn't for sale. She was for rent. Let me repeat that. Because, believe it or not, a lot of women might say, that make us sound like we property or something, like a possession. You are. Y'all call yourself a prize, right? What is the prize? A possession. Women say, we're the prize. I'm a prize. Therefore, a prize is a possession. You are a possession. A man toward a woman is a possession. Something you possess for a period of time. How long? That's to be determined. So, back to the matter at hand. The woman, listen, fellas, just directed to you. You guys out here that hate women because they done left you. You got divorced or what have you. The woman that went on about her business, she with somebody else, she done moved on. You hate her. You hate all women because she left you. It's over with. I can relate. I understand. Been there, done that. I'm not there anymore. So I'm at a place of peace to where if a woman ever leave me again, I won't ever hate her or any other woman. I would be like, okay, the contract is up. I know going in, she is not for sale. Lease only. Rent only. The owner does not want to sell. They only want to rent. For however long they choose to rent for. That woman you are with. Every woman you ever been with in your life, and every woman you will ever be with, even the one you with now, if y'all been together 30 years, she's still for rent. You have rented her for the last 30 years. She can break the rental agreement anytime she feel like it. Because you didn't buy her. You're only renting. No matter what you've done for, you done bought a house, you done bought a car, you done bought a jewelry, you done bought her clothes, you done fed her, you done did all this, that, and the other. It don't matter. If she ready to break that rental agreement, she can break it at any time she want to on her property. It's her property. She belongs to her. She's her property, but you are renting her property from her. For however long you can hold up to whatever her rental agreement is. She has some stipulations, some guidelines, some rules, and some requirements that you must meet in order to rent her. You know how they talk about the standards and requirements or whatever. That's in her rental agreement. And as long as you abide by her rental agreement, you can continue to rent her. But if you break any of those in the rental agreement, whatever the agreement may have been, each woman has their own list of requirements for this contract to stay intact. As long as you are abiding by her contract, the rental agreement, you can continue to rent the prize. Hold on, y'all. And a lot of times, for whatever reason, the owner of the property can decide to terminate the lease at any time when it comes to renting that woman. No matter what you done put into the woman, no matter how you upgraded the woman, she still don't belong to you. You'll never buy her. You're only renting. So a lot of guys get mad because when it's over with, when the contract, when she voided the lease, when she voided the contract and left you, when she left me, I was pissed off about what all I done put into her. She get to leave with it. And I'm pissed and mad about what all I've done for it. I'll never do that again for a woman. I'll never spend this, that, whatever. If you would have known in the beginning, like I'm telling you now, so you can avoid that in the future, that no matter what you do, you still ain't buying her. You're renting. I don't care what you spend on her. Imagine going out here to a car place to rent a car. You have a rental lease agreement when you rent that car. You know beforehand, no matter what you may believe in your mind, the contract says you're not buying the car. You're only renting it. So you know ahead of time, right? So therefore, what you do is you're not going to go put rims on the car. You're not going to go put you some beats in the car. You're not going to go put can of paint on the car. Because no matter what you put on the car, put in the car, it's not yours. You're renting it. So at some point in time, that car gonna leave your possession. And your rims, your beats, your can of paint you to put on it, that don't make it yours. That rims, can of paint, and beats going with the car when the owner wants it back. Now you may try to take your rims off. That's a possibility. You might try to take your music out the car. That's a possibility. If you can get it off of that. Usually it don't work like that. If you don't put a bunch of money into something that was never yours, and when it's time to turn it back in, don't complain about all the money you put into it when you should have known that you were renting. You were not buying. So I want to let you fellas know, whether you're in a marriage or in a relationship with a woman. And ladies, if you want to come on here complaining about we're not property, big boy, I'm a human being, I am not property. Yes, you are. You are a prize, remember? A prize is property, okay? No, you're not for sale. So we'll never own you. But we can rent you, if you so choose. So fellas, from here on out, keep that in the front of your mind when you're dealing with a woman and decide to enter into a relationship with her, enter into a marriage with her. Just know you're signing a contract, even if it's just mental. It may not be a physical contract. It's a mental contract between you and her. You're agreeing to rent her for a certain amount not a certain amount of time. Only thing about this contract, there's no date on it when it expires. It can expire at any time. It can expire the next day, the next month, the next year. The owner of the property determines when the contract is over, not you. You don't have a set time when you first sign it. It's over whenever the owner says it's over. Whenever that contract is up. So don't be acting a damn fool because something you were renting decided that they don't want to rent to you no more. What you end up doing, the same way with any home or any car, if they don't want to rent you this one no more, you're going to rent another one. And you keep driving. You don't go when it's time to turn that car in. You don't go and get a bat and bust all the windows out the car. Bust the glass out the car. Flat the tires. You don't do all that when it's time to turn the car back in. You don't be mad at the car because you have to turn it back in because it was never yours. You are renting. It wasn't for sale from the start. So, when you meet a woman nowadays, or any time throughout history, it was never meant for her to be your property. You would never own her. We've always just rented. Some of us are just coming to the conclusion of that. We didn't understand it like that. I thought she was mine. She belonged to me forever. No. Each time my relationship was up, now that I look back on it, the terms and the conditions of the contract wasn't met. Whatever her terms and conditions was, I might have met them for a year, might have met them for 2 years. But however long we were together and she decided, contract over, at that point in time, I was no longer honoring the terms and conditions of the contract. So therefore, the owner can pull the property, evict you, put you out, repossess. The woman repossessed herself from me because I no longer lived up to the terms and conditions of her contract. Big boy, we ain't got to do none of that shit them hoes be talking about. No, you don't have to do it. You don't. But she don't have to be with you. We don't have to do what they require us to do, and they don't have to be with us. So, I complain about the modern woman. Y'all complain about the modern woman. But I can get the modern woman, and you can get the modern woman, if you are willing to live up to the terms and conditions of her contract. I'm not willing to do that, so I choose not to rent these women. They all for rent, though. They all are for rent, not for purchase. You can't buy them, but you can rent them. And you can rent them for as long as you're willing to abide by the terms and conditions of her contract. Each woman has her own terms and conditions of her contract. But you need to know as a man, whatever woman you with right now, whether it's your wife or your girlfriend, you under contract, homie. You under contract. Whether you know it or not, I'm here to tell you, you under contract. You are renting that lady. And it's always been like that. This ain't nothing new. I'm just coming to the epiphany. If that applies, I just want to sound smart every now and then. Epiphany, it sounds good. I don't know what the hell it means. It sounds like it fit in right there. But I want you fellas just to know that. So now, at some point in time, when the woman breaks the contract and say you are no longer welcome to rent here, you must be evicted, you must be repossessed. You won't be all in, oh my, I can't believe you're doing nothing. What the hell you doing? You bitch. We ain't got to do that no more. Now that you know, Big Ward has informed you that when you enter into a relationship or marriage with a woman, she can void that contract whenever she feel like it because you are renting her. She is the property. She is the owner of the property. She is the landlord. She is Hertz. She is Avis, or wherever you rent your car from. That's who she is. Read the terms and conditions before you sign. If you agree with those terms and conditions, and you feel like you can keep up with those terms and conditions, you can rent that car, you can rent that property, you can rent that woman for as long as you want to. She'll stay right there with you. They leave us, they leave me, they have left me because I voided the contract. Whether I like it or not, whether I intended to, whether I wasn't able to keep up with the terms and conditions, I couldn't pay my rent, I couldn't pay my lease payments, whatever the lease payments was that she required you to pay, you reneged. So she repossessed herself from you. She repossessed herself from me. Me not understanding at the time, I was pissed. But what you look like being pissed at Hertz rental car because you got to turn their car back in? Do you be pissed off at them? How you look being pissed when you rent a home or you rent an apartment, what have you, and your contract is up and they tell you they no longer want to rent to you? Are you going to cuss them folks out and call them all bitches and hoes and you sorry mother, you ain't shit? Because they don't want to rent their property to you anymore. Maybe they found somebody else that's willing to pay more for the property than you was. It's life. That's the way it goes. Something will never change. So from here on out, fellas, all I'm saying is, if you're going to do a relationship with a woman or with a man, depending on how you swing, just know you are renting or leasing, never buying. You will never own it. It is not lease to own. It's not rent to own. It's not for sale. It's for lease or rental only. The owner reserves the right to remove you from the property, repossess the car from you at any time they feel like it. Go in it with that understanding and you're going to be all right. You'll never be around here crying, acting a fool, wanting to kill somebody, want to hurt somebody, want to hurt yourself, calling folks out of their name, going on Facebook, making bitter posts, talking about them behind their back. You won't do none of that no more. because you will understand from day one, I was renting her. She was never for sale. I was never going to own her. I was only going to be able to lease her as long as I'm able to honor the terms and conditions that she set forth in the contract. Hate to put it to you like that, fellas. And ladies, if you're offended because I made it seem like y'all are property, I didn't make it seem like y'all are property. Y'all are property. You're a prize. Once upon a time, I've said it before that y'all were the man's greatest possession. Not anymore. Some of y'all still are. But you are a possession. And a man's supposed to take care of you like he takes care of any of his other possessions. If he gonna possess you. If he's not able to take care of his car, if he's not able to take care of home, he don't need them. Same goes with you. If he's not able to take care of you, if he gonna take you on as his possession, he needs to be able to take care of you. He don't have to, so therefore, he don't need to take you on in a lease agreement because he can't afford to abide by the terms and conditions of that lease. So fellas, don't do it. Don't complain about it. Ain't nobody making you lease it. Ain't nobody making you lease that car. Ain't nobody making you lease that apartment. Ain't nobody making you rent that woman. And then you want to get mad because you can't afford the rental payments. Whatever the rental payment may be, it ain't always money when it comes to whatever her payments are. You paying something to be with her. It's in the contract. And when you ain't able to make those payments, same way in your apartment, you're going to be evicted. Same way with that car, it's going to be repossessed. It is what it is. Like it or not, it's life. Get it, got it, good. Bye.